Miss Trite. It is my humble pleasure to welcome you to Seven Oaks. I do hope that you have an enjoyable...
Hello, Jerry, darling.
Okay.
Do be here and take this for me, will you? Thank you. My, what atrocious weather we're having. It's simply raining cats and dogs out there. I simply deplore wet weather. It makes my hair so frizzy. And where is our charming hostess hiding? Prima, darling, yodeling.
My mistress wishes to extend her most humble apologies as she cannot be here to greet each of her guests individually. Please just make yourself comfortable until the rest of the guests arrive.
Oh dear, what a crashing bore. Well, I suppose I could use a teensy drink to warm myself up, like some hot chocolate. Thank you, Jeeves.
It's Justin, madam.
Yes, of course.
Good heavens, Hope. Why did you pack in these things? Anvils? Oh, drat it all. I'm terribly sorry, Jason.
Quite all right, sir. However, my name is Justin.
Are you sure you're all right? You look a bit ill.
Well, sir, you know, I felt better. That was kind of...
Glad to hear it. Hope, whatever you're concocting over there, make one for me. When's dinner, Jason?
8 o'clock, sir.
Oh, good. What are we having?
Red herring. Dr. Five?
Wait! Don't move! Don't whisper! Don't touch a thing.
May I inquire as to what you're doing, Doctor?
I lost my glasses and I can't see a blasted thing without them. Oh, here they are. Right underneath your foot. Oh dear, do you think anyone will notice?
Assuredly not, madam.
Oh, thank heavens.
Jackie, darling, how are you? Can I fix you up with something to drink?
No, thank you, dear. Let me catch my breath. Prima, you look simply ravishing in that gown. My, how you've changed your hair, your eyes, your...
No, Jackie. It's me, Hope. Prima hasn't arrived yet.
That's odd. Well, you look simply ravishing anyways, dear. Jacob, will you catch me something tasteless and alcoholic, please?
Certainly, madam, but my name is Justin.
Yes, dear, I'm sure you are. Well, here we all are. I wonder what could be keeping Prima.
I suppose it must take her quite a long time to put on all that makeup. Don't you agree, Sandy?
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I wasn't listening.
I said, don't you think that...
Jason, what the devil was that?
I haven't the foggiest, sir.
It sounded as if it came from outside.
Well, aren't you going to answer it?
I'm waiting for the thunder, sir.
Thunder? What thunder?
How did you do that?
Oh. Hello, everyone. Seem to have had a bit of car trouble.
Good grief, Sir Tailing. Are you all right?
Oh, it's nothing that a cup of coffee loaded with caffeine couldn't fix.
Right away, sir. May I take that from you, sir?
Yes, please.
Here, darling. You just sit right over here while I fetch you one of those cute little ice bag things for your head.
Oh, really, Miss Trite? That's hardly necessary.
Oh, but I insist.
Extraordinary.
Yes, that blasted dog never knew it hit him.
No, not that. Hope doing someone else a favor when it doesn't even benefit her.
Your caffeine, sir.
Thank you.
Jason?
Justin? It's Justin. Good evening, Sister Belladonna. It is my humble pleasure to welcome you to Seven Oaks. I do hope that you have an enjoyable evening, and please, if you need any assistance, just let me know. May I take your coat? Dear sir or madam, as the case may be, my name is Belladonna, and I have taken a vow of silence for the next 30 years or so. Have a nice day in the Moss Day. Okay?
I say, isn't that Prima's long-lost sister? The one that ran to Asia to become a monk?
Quite so. Rumor has it she became a monk and took a vow of silence after being spurned by her lover. Of course, it's only rumor.
Really, you two, it isn't polite to gossip. How would you feel if she talk about you?
Well, it's all very well, dear, but she can't talk at all, remember?
Second door to your right, madam.
Well, it's going to be an awfully interesting evening.
Sorry, darling. Who was that woman in the funny dress? I bumped into her in the hallway and she bowed to me.
Oh, that's Sister Donna, darling. She's a monk.
Oh, that explains it. Anyway, here's your ice bag, Tanley. I had a devil of a time finding it.
Well, that was very nice of you, Miss Trite, even if there is no ice in it.
Oh, silly me. Where could my mind have been?
We do wonder sometimes, dear.
Well, as long as we're waiting, I may as well reflect on the day's events. You should too, Taylor.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry I'm late. A bloodhound was run over by some maniac driver on the way over. I suppose he was bound to die someday anyhow. Where's our dear friend Prima?
We don't quite know, actually.
Well, what about the butler? I don't see him anywhere either.
He was here just a minute ago.
Ah, Joseph. There you are. Please. Ah, Justin. Of course I meant Justin. Please take that for me, will you? And close the door when you get up. It's rather chilly in here. Well, this is quite a storm we're having tonight.
I'll say, it's raining cats and well, it's raining quite heavily up there.
Oh dear, I do hope that old bridge holds out until morning.
Thank you, dear. A little melodrama always livens things up.
Well, as long as we're waiting, I may as well relax, reflect on the day's events. You should too, Tanley.
Why is everyone staring at me?
Your chocolate milk, madam.
Really, this is most impolite. You would think that Prima would have enough manners to show up at her own dinner party on time.
Maybe we should start eating without her.
Perhaps she's caught the swine flu.
Wouldn't that be a shame?
Sister Donna has suggested that we summon the butler and ask him what's going on.
Good idea, I'll ring for him.
You rang, sir?
Yes,
What was his name?
yes, Jimmy.
Justin! My name is Justin! Are you people stupid or something? It's Justin! What is it spelled? Justin! Oh!
It wasn't something I said.
Good help is so hard to find these days.
Now what do we do? We're trapped in a spooky old mansion with a missing hostess and a maniac butler.
This surely is not your usual weekend sociable.
I have an idea.
How unusual.
The telephone. We can call the police on the telephone. Hello? Hello? Is anybody there? The phone is dead.
Of course the phone is dead. This is a mystery. The phones are always dead in a mystery. The wires are probably just blown out by the storm.
No, the phone is dead.
Well, this is just bloody marvelous. Now all we need is a dead body.
I'm sure that could be arranged.
I suggest we take this time to split up into pairs and search the house for Prima. She must be here somewhere.
Wait a minute, Mr. Saw. Belladonna has a point.
Yes.
Oh, have you forgotten that there's an insane butler running around here?
Who? Jamie? I'm sure he's completely harmless. Well, unarmed at least.
Safety in numbers, I say. As long as we're all together, nothing will possibly happen.
Oh my God!
Tanley, is that you?
Everybody, please remain calm. There is no reason to be alarmed. The circuit was probably just blown out by the storm.
Oh, that's odd. The fireplace went out too.
Perhaps it's electric.
It's all right, everyone. I carry a small electric torch in my purse, so let me see where I can find my wallet.
Jackie, did you break your glasses again?
Oh, darn it. I was hoping no one would notice.
Forget the glasses. Who's holding the bloody flashlight? Well, somebody must be holding it.
I know. Belladonna, is that you?
Very ingenious, Miss Tripe. Now, if Belladonna would be so kind as to make sure we all are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. We're all here.
7?
Who are you?
Oh, I am Monique, the maid.
We can see that.
Where have you been during all this chaos?
Chaos, monsieur. I do not understand.
Let me update you, dear. The roads are flooded, the bridge is washed out, Our host isn't missing. The lights just blew out. And you just walked into the room. Where were you?
Look here. I look at my script and it tells me to enter the room after the lights go out. Then I, Monique, am supposed to scream. I'm just trying to do my job and everyone's here yelling at me.
There, darling. It's all right. You can start all over again whenever you're ready.
Merci. Oh, I cannot believe it! This is simply horrible!
Monique, what on earth?
It is Madame Donna, monsieur. She is...
Spit it out, dear.
dead!
Dead?
Dead.
Dead!
Wait a minute. Do you mean murdered or just plain, ordinary, everyday type of dead?
Actually, I am not quite sure, but she is dead.
Prima could always liven up the party.
Quiet, everybody. I suspect the possibility of foul play. Monique and Guy will go investigate the body and search for clues. The rest of you are to remain here and not leave under any circumstance.
Why is that, Mr. Soft?
Because one of you is the murderer, of course.
One of us? What about you? You could have bumped her off just as easily.
Wait a minute. We're not even sure that Prima's been murdered yet.
A minor detail. Besides, I am the detective here. I call the shots. Come along, Monique. Show me to the scene of the crime.
Oui, monsieur.
Oui, oui.
Really, the nerve of that man.
Treating us like common criminals.
Well, I couldn't believe it for a minute that one of us could actually murder Prima in cold blood. Of course, the thought had crossed my mind once or twice.
I thought you said the phone was dead.
It is. Look!
Oh, there must be another one in the room. Quick, everyone look around.
No wonder. It's cordless. Hello? I'm sorry. Could you speak up a little bit, please? Prima Veridana? Nope, sorry, wrong number.
Why on earth did you just do that?
Well, what was I supposed to say? I'm sorry. She's dead right now. May I take a message? We can call the police on the telephone. Don't you spell telephone with 3 E's?
Nope, I think it's just 2.
There's a dictionary over by the bookcase.
Never mind, sister's right. Now we can all...
Get it!
Justin!
Now that's something you don't see every day.
Now what are we going to do? That telephone was our last hope!
Don't worry, Miss Tripe. Mr. Solvent will take care of everything.
Why does this frighten me?
Well,
Well, what?
is she?
Yeah, she's fine.
No, not her. Prima!
Oh, you mean her? Yeah, she's dead. Quite dead, in fact. In fact, she's been murdered.
Murdered!
Murdered?
Will you please stop that? Go ahead, Soft.
You might all want to sit down. I have a brief monologue coming up. Are we all ready now?
Go ahead, dear. We're all breathless with anticipation.
All right. First things first. I'm sorry to inform all of you that our hostess Prima is indeed dead. The circumstances surrounding her death are, to say at the very least, unusual. I found Prima in a chair, slumped over, next to her dressing table. In the back of her back was the unmistakable mark of a bullet wound. Well, that's not all. Upon closer examination, I saw a glass of water standing on her dressing room table. After I examined it, I found traces of sediment in the water. And then, I found this suicide note taped to her dressing room mirror. I can't go on. I'm putting a stop to this once and for all. Goodbye. Prima. Also, the room was completely ransacked. And on the floor, I found this dagger. And I also found this blood-stained handkerchief. If you will notice, the handkerchief bears the initial T on it. Well, all this leaves me with several questions. First, was Prima murdered, or did she commit suicide? Second, why was the room ransacked? Third, who was the owner of the handkerchief? Fourth, who was the owner of the dagger? And fifth, where is the revolver now? However, all these questions leave me with one thing. Prima's murderer is in this room right now, and I will not stop until I know who's done it!
Congratulations, dear. I'm thoroughly confused, but that sounded very professional.
Thank you. I practice a lot. Now, does anyone have any questions? If not, I suggest we take this time to split up into pairs and search the house for the missing revolver. It must be here somewhere.
I'm not so sure that's a good idea, Solver.
What if we're paired with the murderer? We could be killed.
Then we'll know who the murderer is. Besides, the killer has no reason to kill any longer. I think.
May I accompany you, Major? I would feel so much safer with a big, strong police officer.
Of course you would. Now what about the rest of you?
I'm sorry, Saul. I think I'm a little above doing searches.
I'll go with Sandy.
Oh, jolly good.
I guess that leaves you and me, Sister Donna.
Very good. Now everybody, keep your eyes open for missing revolvers, maniac butlers, and just anything else out of the ordinary. We'll meet back here in half of an hour. Agreed?
Jackie, darling, are you sure you won't join us? Safety in numbers, you know.
No, no thank you, dear. You children run along and have your fun. I can certainly take care of myself.
Okay, remember, half an hour. And if you need any help, just scream.
Don't worry, I'm sure we'll let you know.
Fools running around this time of evening. Telling you one thing, I'm staying right here. I'm certainly not afraid of a little thunder. Thunder? What could possibly... Well, perhaps I could look around for a little while.
Really, Hope, was that necessary? You nearly frightened me half to death.
I'm sorry. I just hate it when I break a nail.
You didn't have to scream bloody murder.
Don't say that word. I'm scared enough as it is.
I'm sorry. I guess we're all a bit on edge after. What on earth are you doing?
Silly, I'm looking for a secret passage. They're always behind the bookcase.
We're supposed to be looking for a revolver.
Oh.
Come on, let's go investigate the study. I'm sure there are any secret passages in here.
Honest to goodness, secret passage. I simply cannot believe it.
Oui, Major. There are many of them throughout the mansion. I find them when I am dusting.
Remarkable.
There is another in Madame Donna's kitchen, if you like.
Ooh, I like.
Really, we must tell Solvit about this. This could be an important clue to finding the killer.
Why do diaries always have these stupid little locks on them?
So people like you and I don't read them.
We could smash the lock.
Well then, Solvit will know it's been tampered with. Besides, we have nothing to worry about. I certainly don't know how many dark secrets that Solvit would know about.
Speak for yourself.
Come on, we'll discuss this later.
Good. You're right on time. You know why I arranged this little meeting. I know what you did. And if you don't pay up now, I'm telling you others. What's this? I don't accept checks or credit cards. I want cash and I want it now. Well, you can always pay.
heavens, Sister Donna! You look as if you've seen a ghost.
Well, what does it say?
It says,
Was that really necessary?
I am sorry.
Oh, dear, you must have quite shocked. Now sit down here and tell us all about it. Monique, go to the kitchen and get her a cold coffee or something.
Oh, charades! Jolly good.
I like to play games, madam.
So I've heard.
How many words?
One word. Laryngitis.
Was it something you ate?
Horseradish, lemon juice, turnips,
Habit. She's pointing to her habits.
smoking, drinking, talking with your mouth full.
Headache. No, head. What, earlobe?
No, monsieur solve it means sound like head.
Bed, said, Ted, led.
Dead! The word is dead.
Dead. What does she mean by...
He's dead!
She's right, it's the butler, Jerry.
Oh, really, sister? You couldn't have just told us that in the first place.
Well, it certainly ruins the theory that the butler did it. Oh, yes. Upon closer examination, it does look like he is dead. Looks like he was shot through the chest several times. Probably with the same revolver that killed Prima earlier this evening.
This is simply horrid. 2 murders in one evening? Any one of us can be the next victim.
Hold that thought, would ya?
Well, what are we going to do?
Answer it, of course.
No, what are we going to do about the body?
The body. Oh, the body!
The body?
Sandy and Tamley, will you give me a hand with this, please?
Is this what they're called stiffs?
Quick, Sister Donna, throw me that blanket. Okay, now everyone, just act casual.
This ought to be good.
What is it, Monique? Are you all right?
I'm sorry, monsieur. It was just an attack of bad taste. I will be all right.
Ah, buenas noches, señor. Oh, dear God. Not another accent.
Me llamo Monica Sanchez Miona de Corazona y vuelo Orlando de Smith.
Pardon me?
Excuse me, let me handle this, gentleman.
You mean to tell us that you speak Spanish?
My father used to own a small country near Bolivia. Buenos nachos, senora. Cuento te ayuda?
Ah, ¿hablas español? Bueno, ¿dónde está la mujer, por favor?
What did she say?
Well, either she has lost her dentures or she wants someone to paint her house.
I thought you said you understood Spanish.
Well, not fluently. The Bolivians did more shooting than speaking.
Does that mean that this woman cannot understand a word we're saying?
It's quite possible. We haven't understood a word you've said all evening.
We must get her out of here. What if she finds out about Prima?
Prima está aquí. ¿Por qué no está en el teléfono?
Oh, really? Doesn't anyone have the decency to tell this woman that Prima's dead?
Why frighten the poor lady? She probably all think we're a bunch of murderers. Besides, she cannot understand anything we are saying. Isn't that right, dear?
I go Prima with teléfono. Ring ring.
Telephono! That means telephone!
How clever of you, darling. I'm sure none of us could have figured that one out.
This is the woman I spoke to on the telephone earlier. I'd recognize her voice anywhere.
Tipped you off, the sombrero.
You are absolutely positive that this is the woman you spoke to on the phone earlier.
I'd swear to it.
Even so, Sullivan, we still have no idea who this woman is.
I think I can answer that, monsieur. Just yesterday, Madame Donna dismissed Cookie.
Cookie?
Cookie. The cook.
Go on, Monique.
What I was going to say, monsieur, is that this woman may be the new cook.
Good heavens. It's about time she got here. I'm starving.
Surely that is not accurate. If this woman was the cook, she would have been here much earlier. We've been here for hours.
Perhaps she was held out by the storm.
I suppose it's possible.
Really, what difference does it make? Just take her into the kitchen, Monique, and see if she's making some tacos or something.
Come along, madame.
We go see Prima?
Oui, madame. Go see Prima.
So that wasn't very nice. I failed to see you do anything about it. Brat. Oh yeah? Same to you, sister.
Ladies, please! This argument is not going to get us anywhere. We must all work together if we are going to accomplish anything. I suggest we take this time to discuss the findings of our little search. Mr. Lynx and Miss Trite, we'll start with yours.
Well solved. I'm afraid we didn't find anything very interesting.
Of course. There was that locked diary, remember?
Oh, that. I'm sure that Mr. Soft wouldn't be interested in a silly little thing like that.
On the contrary, I am extremely interested. Please produce the diary.
Yes, let me see if I can find it.
It's in your purse, darling.
So it is! Thank you, Sandy. Thank you so much.
Well, this is bound to contain some shocking secrets. Seems that Prima led an extraordinarily full life.
Well, I'll say, remind me to mark page 27.
You two, could we please get on with this?
Here's something of interest. It's about you, Dr. Hyde.
If it's some sort of scandal, it's regrettably untrue.
I was talking to Dr. Hyde about the use of untraceable poisons yesterday. I jokingly asked her if she's ever bumped anyone off with them before. She grew incredibly uneasy. I must look into this.
Really, Sob, stop being so melodramatic. This is an instant conversation we had a couple weeks ago. You're all acting like she was trying to blackmail me or something.
I've decided to blackmail Jackman.
Oh, well, I didn't say you were wrong.
After some research, I discovered that Dr. Hyde got into a violent disagreement with one of her colleagues a few years ago. Several days later, someone broke into his house and added hydrochloric acid to his shaving cream. That morning, the doctor woke up and applied the shaving cream to his face. He was hideously scarred for life.
Dr. McGillicuddy was a drunken old fool. He probably mistook his chemicals for a shaving cream. If anyone was going to disfigure him for life, it certainly wasn't me. I would have thought of something a little more painful.
Then why did you allow Prima to blackmail you?
My career was at stake. I wasn't about to let that little idiot ruin my reputation over some terrible rumors.
I understand, Jackie.
You do?
You see, I too was being blackmailed for something that wasn't true.
What?
I figured it would be best to tell you before you read something from that sordid little book. I believe Prima formed an opinion about me that was entirely untrue.
I knew it. You're a vegetable, aren't you?
The term is fruity, dear.
What I was trying to say, Miss Trite, is that I believe Prima had formed the opinion that I was a commoner.
A commoner? What are you talking about?
Well, as I'm sure you all know, my family is descended from Moroccan royalty. Prima was out to destroy my reputation with some cooked-up rumor she had gotten hold of. Naturally, a vicious rumor like that would destroy my standing in society and ruin my career. Getting a table at Sardis wouldn't be that easy either.
I don't understand, Tailing. What do you mean by career?
Well, royalty works too, you know. We have to open shopping centers and things like that. It's not an easy life.
Very well. Does anyone else have any confessions to make, or shall I continue reading out of this book? Okay. Here's something interesting. It's one of the last entries. Went to Lloyd's today to discuss my will. It's such a bother having to worry what happens to my money after I die. Lloyd assured me it's best to take care of it now, in case of a sudden death. The remainder of my estate will go to my sister, Belladonna, if she ever comes out of that dreadful convent. The rest of it will be split between Monique and Justin if they don't strangle each other to death by the time I'm dead. Very interesting. 3 people now stand to benefit financially from Prima's death.
2. Remember the butler?
Sister Donna, what do you have to say for yourself?
Stupid question.
I'm afraid that's all for this diary. Did anyone else turn up anything of interest?
I did. When I was sitting through the library, I went in the desk and I found a stack of ledgers. And inside the desk there was 2 items, and I think these 2 items just might interest you, Saul. If I can pull them out. The one is about a silk scarf cat burglar, and the other is about a financial transaction between Prima and Mr. Sandy Links.
Really? This is entirely uncalled for. My financial matters have nothing to do with this matter.
I agree. To be accused of something by this quack?
Please, let's take us one step at a time. Baby steps. The famous silk scarf cat burglar has evaded detection by the London police, again for the 8th time since early last November. The so-called criminal earned the nickname through several high society burglaries that have left many women in the area with a loss of jewelry valued at several £1,000s. That's been with the case with previous burglaries. The robbery occurred during or shortly after news posts. Okay. This is all very interesting, Jackie, but I don't see how this has a bearing on the case.
Don't you see, Saul? All these women were victims of the silk scarf cat burglar, and Hope was at each and one of these parties. They were all benefits for her to be honored chairman for.
How dare you accuse me of something as so petty as white-collar crime? It's an outrage!
Miss Troy, are you aware of the emerald Prima purchased at Sotheby's auction last week?
Of course I am. It was all over the paper for days. What exactly are you insinuating, Mr. Solved?
That emerald was once owned by the Khedive of Egypt. It was appraised at $2.5 million. Prima was so happy with her purchase, she said she would not split with it for as long as she lived. She is not living any longer, and I'm afraid the emerald is missing. I didn't mention anything about it earlier because I did not think it had a bearing on the case. Now, I am not so sure.
Well, so it appears I'm the last one. I might as well tell you what you're finding in the little black book that Jackie so graciously found for us. There are no doubt there are large transactions that list a certain Sandy Links as the recipient of no-interest loans. I was greatly in debt for Prima, keeping my miniature golf course in London running, and had little hope of paying her back anytime soon.
So in short, Mr. Links, you have a motive for the murder of Primavera Donna. Ah, the plot thickens. We have now established a motive for murder by every single person in this room.
Not quite, Mr. Solved. What about you?
Me? Well, yes. I must admit that I found Prima to be a poor conversationalist and a taste distresser. But that is no reason to bump somebody off. No. I am the detective here. I solve murders, not commit them. No, we must face facts. One of you in this room is the murderer, and it has committed twice. And I will not stop until I figure out who has done it. Coco?
I am a maid, not a cook. It was the best I could do on such short notice.
It's all right with me, woman. I'd be willing to drink dishwater at the moment.
I think we are.
My word, what is that woman doing?
no idea that folk dancing was so passionate.
Monique, she's squirting grape juice on the carpet.
Can I help you, madame? Madame? Oh, me and my! This woman is not moving!
Let's be through! I'm afraid there are not going to be any encores.
Well, Soft, do you know who done it yet, or does somebody else have to die too?
And if so, darling, I want you to know you'd be my first choice.
How can you joke at a time like this?
Who's joking?
I don't understand this at all, Sullivan. Not one bit. I don't see the connection between her death and Prima's murder.
I'm afraid I'm on the same boat as you, Sir Tanley. It does seem rather incredible that one of us poisoned the old lady.
Judging from the way the cocoa tasted, it's quite possible that we were all poisoned.
Well, if you ask me, Monique had the best opportunity to slip the poison in the cocoa. She was there in the kitchen while it was being prepared.
Guys, it was the woman who poisoned cocoa. I only bring out the mugs in the tray.
How do we know that?
I only bring out the tray. Anyone could have slipped something into the woman's cocoa when I put the tray down. You make up false stories to make Monique look bad. You are nothing but a jealous cat. You are no lady.
She's right! I mean about the cocoa. At the time when we were all gathered around the table, any one of us could have slipped some poison into the stranger's mug.
Why? Well, why, Sullivan? Who would want to bump off a little old lady?
I don't know. That is what's so mysterious about the whole thing. No one knows who she was, or why she even came here tonight.
My money's on Belladonna. It's always the quiet, innocent-looking types that turn out to be the psychopaths.
Well, that certainly lets you out, doesn't it, Jackie? Personally, I think the butler did it.
Butler's dead, darling.
Maybe he committed suicide afterwards.
Maybe you're just stupid.
Very funny, Jackie. Why don't you just have some more cocoa? I'm sure that Monique wouldn't mind fixing you up something special.
Ladies, please. We must take this one step at a time. A clear, logical progression of events.
It's a bit late for that.
First, we have the murder/suicide of our hostess, Primavera Donna. We all had the motive, and we all had the opportunity to kill her.
Including you.
Yes, including me. Next, we have the butler. Again, we all had the opportunity when he split up to search the house, but what was the motive?
Well, he was rather annoying.
Are you sure he didn't commit suicide?
How could he, darling? The revolver that he was killed wasn't found when we found him, remember?
Exactly. My guess was the butler found a clue that led to the killer, or actually witnessed the actual murder itself. Butlers are always getting into that type of thing. And the old lady, too. It just doesn't make any sense. No one knows why she even came here tonight.
Oh, of course, you didn't bother to check her purse for identification. Let me through. Got it. Great. Guys, nothing. Not a scrap of identification.
Maybe someone snatched your wallet when we were all leaving the body.
Yes. Perhaps the murderer took the identification to protect her identity from us.
You mean that one of us recognized her and bumped her off before she could say anything revealing?
It would explain her murder.
So, it doesn't explain anything. We've been running around this mansion all evening, and what have we accomplished? Nothing. And you call yourself a detective. You couldn't find a rotting corpse in 90-degree weather if your life depended on it. I personally feel safer on a date with Jack the Ripper than being protected by you.
Well, as for your chances of dating anyone, Dr. Hyde, I am not particularly worried. And as for your attacks on my professional ability, I'll have you know that I know a lot more than you think I know I do.
What?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I know who's done it!
You do?
Yes. And also, I know how. But I need a few moments of silence to collect my thoughts.
That shouldn't take very long.
In exactly 10 minutes, I'll summon all of you back here and tell you who the murderer is.
10 minutes? How can you expect us to wait 10 minutes after all we've been through this evening?
Miss Wright, I understand you're not accustomed to waiting more than 10 seconds for anything in your entire life, but I'm afraid I must insist. Now run along, little girl. I can just smell the impending chaos. 10, 9, 8. What's my line? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Very well, Mr. Soft. How did you guess?
Actually, I was bluffing. I was hoping that during the 10-minute interval, someone would try to come in here and kill me. Then, I would know who the murderer was. So you're the one that killed them all, Miss Straight.
No, I didn't kill anyone, you idiot. I thought you were going to expose me for stealing Prima's Egyptian emerald, which I might as well admit to now. I've had it concealed in my shoe all evening, and it's given me the biggest blister. Ow!
How did you manage to get that emerald away from Prima?
Easy. She was already dead. Remember that big mess upstairs?
Yes.
Well, I contributed to some of it. When Tanley came in from his car accident, I pretended to get that ice bag for his head. But instead, I went into Prima's room. My idea was to get the emerald and get out. But when I turned on the light, Prima was slumped over the dressing table, the glass of water and the suicide note were there, and the gunshot wound was in her back.
Was there any blood on her dress?
Darling, I didn't stop to look. I was so happy that she was dead that I didn't care.
That explains the ransacked room. But what about the gun? And the handkerchief and the dagger? Were they yours?
I should certainly hope not. That handkerchief was cheap and totally tasteless.
Quite like yourself, in fact.
Yes, no. Look, listen, Buster, I think you better remember who's holding the gun here.
Miss Tripe, there are no bullets in that gun.
What?
After I removed the stranger's body, I went to the trophy room and removed all the ammunition from all the guns that are stored there. You were holding an empty revolver.
Oh, darn.
All right, Solomon, how did you guess? Oh, hello, Miss Trite.
Hi, Tammy.
Let me guess, Sir Tanley. You're here to kill me because you think that I found out that you're the killer.
No. I was going to murder you for guessing that I attempted to kill Prima this evening.
I see.
I don't.
Look, before I arrived at the door this evening, I climbed up the trellis outside Prima's dressing room, intending to kill her for blackmailing me. When I got to the window, I took out my knife and covered it with my handkerchief so that I wouldn't leave any fingerprints. When I saw Prima, I discovered that she was already dead.
No.
Yes, she had been shot in the back and the glass and suicide note were on the table. I was so surprised that when I wasn't paying attention, I slashed my hand with my own dagger. I used my handkerchief to stop my hand from bleeding. Then I heard someone coming, so I dove out the window. Fell right off the blasted trellis, too.
So let me guess. To make up for your dirty and bleeding appearance, you faked a car accident outside. That way, you can blame your injuries as a result of the crash.
Good show, Solvid. It's too bad I have to kill you to save my reputation.
Sir Tanley, there are no bullets in that gun.
What?
He's right, Tanley. If you got that gun from the trophy room, you're shooting blanks.
Oh, just wonderful.
So when you clear away the smoke, it all boils down to this. Either Prima committed suicide, or Prima was murdered and framed to look like a suicide. Mr. Tanley, I must ask you the same question I asked Miss Trite. When you entered the room, was there any blood on Prima's dress?
Come to think of it,
All right, Sullivan. How did you figure out that Monique was the assassin I hired to kill Prima?
he
He
didn't.
didn't.
Wait, what was that last part?
My real name is Gloria Steinwald, and I'm a hired assassin. From Brooklyn.
Yes, I hired Gloria to murder Prima for me tonight. I was greatly in debt for Prima keeping my miniature golf course London running, and she threatened me more than once.
Well, wait a minute. If you aren't Prima's real maid, then who is?
She is.
What?
What?
Yep. I got here about half an hour before the party. I sneaked in the back entrance and went straight up to Prima's room where I figured she'd be dressing. But when I got there, I found her slumped over the table with a glass in her hand. Figured she was drunk or passed out or something, so I just aimed point blank at her back and fired my gun. That goofy butler must have heard the shot, because he came running up to the room. I didn't have enough time to get away, so I jumped into the linen closet and hid there.
What did the butler do when he saw the body?
That's the weird part. He kind of didn't do anything. He looked in and saw us slumped over like that, then just left to answer the door like nothing ever happened.
I have a feeling that nothing did.
Huh?
Go on, Monique.
Anyway, I was stuck in that closet for half the evening because people kept coming into the room. Then I found out that the roads were flooded and there was no way of getting away from the mansion. So instead of playing hide and seek with you bozos all evening, I stole an extra outfit from the linen closet and pretended to be the maid. Figured I'd be safe because nobody knew who the real maid was. And the only person who could recognize me would be Mr. Lynx.
Unfortunately, the real maid showed up.
And her name was Monica, not Monique. Must have misread the label when I threw the dress on. But I figured some chick with a name like that was French, so I became Monique, the French maid.
No wonder that woman was so confused.
That's why I had to bump her off quickly, before any of you found out who she really was. It was easy for me to slip some rat poison into a cocoa when we were in the kitchen. Then I stole a wallet when no one was looking and threw it in the fireplace. Luckily, no one remembered that long name she told us when she first came in.
Monica Monique, how ironic.
Well, what about the butler? Didn't he recognize you?
I made sure we were never in the same room at the same time. And once he went off the deep end, it was even easier because nobody knew who the real maid was.
So wait a minute, you didn't kill the butler?
Of course not. I had no reason to.
Then who did?
I suspect the same person who killed Prima.
But I killed Prima. I'm the one who shot her.
I'm sorry, Miss Steinwald. I'm afraid it's impossible to kill someone who's already dead.
You mean...
Yes. Prima must have been quite dead before you ever reached her. For two reasons. First, she was facing a mirror. She would have seen you approaching. Second, the bloodshot wound did not bleed profusely. Surely, if she was alive, there would have been blood everywhere. No, I'm afraid the only person you killed was Prima's maid.
No, nuts.
You'll understand if I don't pay you. It was a joke.
So to clear it away, it all boils down to this. Either Prima committed suicide, or Prima was murdered and made to look like a suicide. Either way, all this happened long before anything else happened this evening.
Well, wait a minute. If Prima was murdered, that only leaves her!
Wrong again, dear, but look who I ran into the hallway. I told you she didn't!
Oh my heavens.
Not quite, darling.
Prima?
In the flesh.
But that doesn't make any sense. You were killed at least 3 times upstairs.
Wrong. The body upstairs belongs to my sister, Belladonna. You all tried to kill the wrong person.
Oh, great.
Man.
Why did you do it?
How did you do it?
In answer to your question solved, one word, fear. Well, actually 2 words, fear and greed. You see, I knew that almost everyone in this room tonight wanted me dead. So, I planned this little party to fool you all into thinking that I actually was dead. By pretending to commit suicide tonight, I never would have had to worry about being murdered by one of you fools.
So that's what the suicide note and the poisoned drink were for.
Yes, I invited my sister over to the mansion a few hours before the party. It was quite simple for me to poison her drink and then exchange clothes with her. Then, I set up her body next to what was left of her drink and wrote a cute little suicide note. Since we look so alike, there's very little danger of anybody realizing the body wasn't actually mine.
Then why the masquerade? Why did you bother doing any of this?
Number one, I wanted to see if everything went according to plan, which obviously it didn't. Number two, you may recall that my sister was to inherit my fortune legally after I died. There's no way I could have drawn all my wealth out of the bank right before I supposedly died without anybody becoming suspicious. So, by becoming belladonna for a short amount of time, I was able to inherit my fortune back. If everything went according to plan, I would have dropped the monk bit and headed off to Europe in about a month.
Very ingenious, Prima.
I know. I figured you'd never recognize me in this getup. Besides, I never had to talk, so you never would have recognized me by my voice. Any physical similarities could be put down as sisterly resemblances.
That was very clever of you.
Clever. I think it's downright corny. Disguises, twin sisters. Sounds like a bad mystery play.
What about the butler? Did you kill him too?
Of course, the idiot tried to blackmail me for killing my sister. He must have seen me do something this afternoon, so I shot him while you all were running around like loons.
Well, I'm afraid you won't be killing anyone else this evening.
What are you talking about?
There are no bullets in that gun, Prima. The jig is up.
Wrong again, Mr. Solved. I've had this gun concealed in my handbag all evening.
What?
I think I'll give you the honor of going first.
Oh, mademoiselle,
What?
my gun has bullets too.
Good job, Miss Steinbach.
Thanks.
How about that for poetic justice?
I'll tell you right now, I'm not moving any more bodies behind that sofa.
This has to be one of my most bizarre cases ever.
Sullivan, this was probably your only case ever.
Well, I'm quite hungry now. I suggest we all retire to the kitchen and get something to eat.
Aren't we forgetting something?
Yes, dear. We'll shoot you after.